it's MK. I wanted to show you guys the inspiration for my layout today. Now this was created by the beautiful Ginni Candelaria, and she's been a close to my heart consultant forever. She's I'm a big fan of hers, but she creates, let me do that again. She creates her own cut files. And so basically what she does is she takes images that she has from the Close to My Heart cartridges or the basic shapes, the Cricut basic shapes, and makes her own images. And what she did here was she created little footprints that match the pattern paper, and actually the pattern paper that she's using here has those footprints in it. And so she was trying to recreate these little footprints. She created her own little leaves, like so. Okay, this is what her layout looks like. And I am going to scrap lift her. All right, let's get going. The first thing that I'm going to do is cut off the branding strips. Now, Close to My Heart calls these zip strips. So if I refer to them as a zip strip, that is what I'm saying is the branding strip. I apologize about the confusion already. Everybody has their own language, so I've been told. I only have these two pieces of paper left from this collection. I didn't realize that I was going to be making another layout with this collection until I saw Ginni's, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I had to recreate it, and I am using up my leftovers from the workshop that I had created. Now, I love playing with my scraps, and so this was a really fun way to do it. Obviously, I have more scraps here than I normally do, but it was very fun creating this layout using the same but different elements than what was in the inspiration. I do keep it very true to how she lays out her layout, how she planned out her layout, I guess is the word. But I enjoy seeing, even though they were meant to be the same, how different everybody's is. I love projects like that. I'm sorry, I'm a dork. I'm just cutting up this little cut apart sheet. I'm not sure how I feel about these cut apart sheets. Close to My Heart in their last catalog had just the cards that you could either use as a card or cut up. And now they've gone to like these elements that you have to fussy cut. I tried putting that sheet with the dinosaurs in it. I tried to put it in my scan and cut, but because they put a print on the back, my scan and cut couldn't decipher between the images and the print. And so it was all wonky. All it wanted to do was cut out all the black parts, and that's because that's all it could see. So this is the other 12 by 12. It's a white polka dot, and it's kind of like confetti. And then I have this green. It's got like a bluey, it's a weird wonky chevron. Very faint, very, very faint, but it is a pattern print. And then I cut up all of those scallops for, like I said, for my workshop. So these are all just the scraps that I'm going through right now. Eventually, I'm going to want all of my black scraps, but I haven't figured that out yet. Here I am, deciding whether or not I want to add a whole bunch of border strips just to use them up. Again, this is, I keep saying it, I apologize, but this is a scrap project that I just realized that now I want to use up, see what all I can use instead of just the elements that are in the sample layout. So I'm just throwing in what I think might work, whether or not I use it all or not. At this point, I don't know. I have leftover cut apart cards from the workshop. That little strip, a piece of paper right there that I flipped over, it has gray on the other side. That is the only strip that I have left over of the footprint that that the sample layout actually uses as an entire background. And so I am eventually going to try and recreate that footprint because I really liked how all the footprints were all over. So I'm deciding on the cards. How kiddish do I really want it? Do I really want to cut out that dinosaur? No, he's pink. I don't want to add pink to it. Those are my infamous photo placement cards. And then I might want to use that large green journaling spot. So my colors of the layout are blue, green, gray, and of course a little bit of black. And I'm not sure if I add the yellow in or not. Now I can't remember. I guess I could stop being lazy and go get the layout. So I'm going to cut apart all of these things, and I use my trimmer for what I can, and then I use my scissors for the rest of it. I don't mind fussy cutting, especially, so these ones have a large white border around them, and it makes cutting out like the leaves and things very, very easily. Very, very easy, not easily. But yes, you can easily cut out these shapes because of that white little border. And that was one of the reasons why I thought my Scan and Cut would cut all these out. But yeah, it failed miserably. So I was like, oh, well, it would have been nice because then I could have used these elements in my workshop and had them all cut, because my girls that come to the workshop really are not, they're anti-fussy cutting whatsoever. It's basically one of those where you want me to cut that out? Oh yeah, forget that. And then it's one of those throw it over your shoulder type ordeals. Super fun. So yeah, painstakingly enough, I am going to cut out all of these little images. I'm not going to make you watch me cut all of these, so I went ahead and just skipped to the end. Yay! Now I'm going to go and get some base cardstock. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want a gray, since I'm going to be using gray as most of my background, or if I'm going to be using a different color. There it is. So here's where I go and I pull out a stamp set. I really, like I said, I wanted to recreate those dinosaur prints, and apparently I'm lost the set. There it is. Yay. So this set is by Close to My Heart. I honestly can't remember what its name is, but it is adorable. It has solid dinosaurs and then the bones of the dinosaurs that you can either put inside or stamp separate. And the Scan and Cut does cut those very nicely. Just to brag about those a little bit. So I am marking where my paper is supposed to go, so I know not to stamp too many of the little footprints. I mean, the stamp is a lot smaller than I had remembered. Of course, that's kind of how everybody, it reminds me of the, it's kind of smaller than I remember it to be. So this is that paper. I know it doesn't come out very well, but that's the paper and the little footprints all over it. Now my footprints are like the dinosaur is walking, so I actually have all four. So I'm not, I thought that I had random footprints, but I don't. So I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to figure out where I want all my stuff, where I want my photo and all that. Again, I don't want to do any extra stamping than I have to. I honestly don't have any rhyme or reason, but I'm keeping in mind of where that banner piece was in the sample layout and a few of the other elements. Sorry for my hair. If I don't get up and fix it every morning, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like an afro. It's terrible. So now I decided I don't want these confetti papers to be white. So I am going to try a couple colors of the grays that I have. First, I'm going to try Close to My Heart. Now, this one is a linen color. It's very, very light. No, it's Pebbles. I apologize. This is the Pebbles color. That was too light for my taste. Actually, I'm getting a brand new ink dauber, ink sponge thing to see what the true color actually is. Again, I'm lazy. So that was Pebbles. Didn't like it. This is Pewter. Another Close to My Heart color. And it just doesn't seem as smooth. It's kind of not as dark as I want it. Yeah, it's not going to work for me either. So now I'm going to go and reach into my Distress inks. When I do a Close to My Heart project, I always try to keep up with the Close to My Heart, not keep up with them, but use just Close to My Heart. But sometimes I have to get out. My other elements, they do what I want them to do. And I struggle with the Close to My Heart ones sometimes. So in case you haven't guessed, I'm going to color this whole piece of paper. But again, I'm not going to make you watch it. That was horrible. I'm not going to lie. I did not enjoy that one bit. And there I am trying to like wring out my wrist because it hurt so much. I went to a retreat here recently and picked up what is called Life-Changing Brushes by Picket Fence. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I went to my die cut machine and I have a Cricut. I went to my Cricut and picked out the images that I wanted. I did not purchase the cut file from Ginni because she actually has like 5 or 6 different layouts and cut files within those layouts, and I only wanted the dinosaur. So I knew that I had a dinosaur. I knew I had dinosaur prints. I knew I had a rock. And actually, it was actually kind of cool because I had the dinosaur prints on the rock. And so basically I just split them and treated them as if they were 2 different images and cut them out. So I cut, I believe, 3 or 4 sets of the footprints, and then 1 rock, and then a blue dinosaur, because everybody knows that dinosaurs are blue. So I am taking charcoal ink now, again, a Close to My Heart color, and inking all of my edges. I figured since I don't remember what color that distress color was. Worn wood. Okay, anyways. It made it look distressed, and so I figured the rest of the layout needed to look distressed as well. The green piece of paper is a little bit more than the 4 inches that I need. Look, that's me checking. Can you guys see my hair? That was me asking if you guys could see my hair. I was rather quite embarrassed. It was terrible. So I'm going to attach this strip. I only want about 1/4 inch, but again, I'm using my scraps, so I'm okay if I don't cut it in half, and I'm hiding the other half of it, the other 1/4 inch, I guess I would say. Excuse me. So when I work with scraps, I don't really worry about, I guess, conserving might be the right word, conserving the paper, because I want to get it used up. That's just me. So at first I tried to eyeball it. Yeah, I wasn't too good at eyeballing. I finally decided to use my the mat that I'm working with. And I don't know about you guys. Okay, tangent here. Do you guys have an issue with glass mats? Because the grid is underneath the glass, and so it puts it a distance away from your actual image. So do I look over it? Do I close one eye? How do you actually know that you are, accurate? But I've always had an issue with glass. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too, okay, you're just going over the top there, girlfriend. Yeah, probably. It's what I do. I'm using a retired sheet of cardstock right here. And way back when, way back when, Close to My Heart had like wonky cut papers. Like they were 12 by 12, but some of them had like an off, if that makes any sense. So like it was 12 by 12 with a little left hangy thing. I don't know. Did you guys just see that? My tape broke. Good thing I have this extra tape. So before my husband and I got married, I had a crafting area at his house. He knew that I wouldn't stay there if I didn't have anything to do. Plus his entire household sleeps until like noon. Really? I can't do that. I'm an early bird, true and true. Always has been, always will be. And so he set up this station for me to get up and work when everybody's sleeping, and I just absolutely loved it. I had no problem. But when we got married, I now end up with 2 of everything. So here I have used my paper because I didn't want to use up all of my cardstock just to cut out 2 images, 2 gray images. So I used the side of my base page to cut out my paw prints. And as you can see, I covered them right up. Nobody can tell. Here's my rock. I like my rock. Just trying to decide which way my rock is going to go. And, but yeah, I do that quite a bit. If I know that a base piece is going to be covered up, I try to use it to cut my images if I can't get them all to cut on one sheet. Like this rock, there was no way that I could cut out those the footprints and the rock all in one. I could probably have done 1 footprint, but that was about it. So I just make sure that they are all on one side and not going over my 4-inch mark. I love that. I took my marker. It's a... I am so sorry, you guys. I took my journaling pen. It's Le Pen. I don't really know exactly. Oh, Marvi. Marvi Lucida makes it. If I'm saying that correctly, I apologize. But I took my pen and actually drew an outline on those green scallops. So that way they stood out just a little bit more. I didn't want to cut them out. I really liked how they looked as a border strip. So, and here I'm playing with my photo placement cards. I love these things because I can get a feel for my layout. I can get a feel for where the embellishments go. I love these things. And I used to have some, no, I still do, by Kiwi Lane, where you could, you know, it was supposed to be like a pre-designed type thing. And for me, that was, it wasn't working because I didn't have enough. Like I didn't have, you know, 4 by 6 cards. I only have two of everything. And so I kind of put those off to the side and haven't looked at them since then. Poor thing. But that was my initial intent, was to purchase them for such a purpose, was to lay out my photo placement cards and then, or my, whatever the Kiwi Lane calls them. And then that way I am able to see, you know, like visually see it before. I was actually having printer issues this day. So I sent my husband into town to go and get my photos. I just went and got them from the, oh, what are they called? The 1 hour photo at Walmart. So, but I was just so frustrated by the time that I got one photo to print. I was like, nope, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. You can go to town and get me my photos. And yeah, so he was nice enough. Town for us is about, we call it an all-day trip, but it takes half an hour to get there, plus the stuff that you have to do, and then another half an hour to get back. So an hour's worth of travel time there and back, plus whatever it is that you have to do. So it's not fun going all the way to town. So I'm taking all the elements that I have picked out. I'm not even talking about the layout. I apologize. It's like one of those sorry, not sorry. I am just kind of rifling through all the elements that I had picked out previously and deciding which ones. I did decide on those two yellow little pieces, one on one side and one on the other, in case you can't see it. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. I know that I want to back all of the straight edged elements. So like anything that's a square or not a circle, anything that's a square or a rectangle, I'm going to back with black because I think that it just pops out that much more. Oh, that's cute. Why didn't I put those there? That's super cute. Isn't it funny how you kind of see yourself and not see yourself, but like this is how you first did it? What made you change your mind? I don't know. It's really weird. So I don't have a banner piece, a green banner piece big enough for that corner over there. I'm not entirely excited about it. So I decided to take my washi tape and make me a bigger piece. Most of it will be covered up by the leaves, so you won't be able to see the seam. But I love doing this. I love pasting together all of my pieces. Now, with this print, I do have to say that, you know, it is kind of a hassle having to turn the paper because it is a directional print. But I am a-okay with piecing together a piece of paper just to get the visual effect that I'm looking for. I do this all the time. All the time. I don't have the piece of paper I need. I will make it, darn it. So I'm just checking to see if that's long enough. I love it. I like it. I need to trim off the extra. I'm not entirely sure how long it is, but I absolutely love how it looks. I love my piece of paper that I Frankensteined together. And then that piece that has the hole cut out of it, I don't remember exactly what was in the center of that. Oh, I know what it is. I cut out a title for my piece using those cards. Well, I was going to use those because the little journaling spots that I have right there in my hand, and then the other one is on the upper on the top of the right page, they have the same print. And I kept talking to myself saying, well, do I need to bring that print in somewhere else? Or is it okay if I just have that print right there? And then I also am going to bring in another print. So that green journaling card on the right page down at the bottom has like a scaled print on it, like alligator scales. And that is the only spot where I bring it in as well. And so some of the other elements that I picked out are the exact same scale, except they are different colors. So now I am backing all of them. I just need to decide, do I want a small border? Do I want a big border? What size border do I want? I'm a measuring person. I have to measure out every single piece of my paper. I know it's a horrible habit that I have, but I don't like gluing the piece of paper on and then trying to guess how big it was and how big I need to go, and then it ends up being a smidge too small on one side than the other. And so that kind of, it really, really does. My OCD can't handle it. It just can't. So I try. I really do. I try my hardest, and every time it's like, it's so much faster if I could just do this. Of course it is. But your brain won't let you do it. It just won't. So I think I was inking the edge. I can't really remember. I don't like inking over my project. Well, I wasn't measuring it because my ruler's right there. That's weird. I don't like inking over my project at all because it's the sponges that I used to use before I got the amazing life-changing brushes. The sponges that I use leave those little flakes everywhere. And then when you go and take your hand and rub those flakes down, oh, how irritating when you get that smear of ink. I just want to cringe every time I do it. And I do. I still do it to this day. To this day. Until I go and get until I received, I purchased, I have now the life-changing brushes. You guys have got to check out those life-changing brushes. Okay, enough said. Inking all the elements before I glue them down onto the black little pieces. Just laying out the little pieces. I really do like those two paw prints that says I dig dinos tucked behind or tucked within those leaves. I like that. I really do. I ended up inking the dinosaur too with a darker blue, but I don't know if I've already done that. I don't know if it doesn't look like it is, but it's very subtle. It kind of gives him a little bit of dimension inking him, but I do end up inking him. I haven't decided if I want a picture up there or if I want a card. Like I said, I'm waiting for my pictures to show up, so I don't even know what pictures I have yet. But I do know that I have several dinosaur pictures. My children, when they were littler, my son and my daughter, loved going to the dinosaur park, the dinosaur museum. We went to the Utah Zoo one time and they had dinosaur animatronics. That was super fun. Okay, so while I was waiting for my pictures to get printed, I was having technical difficulties, so I had to order them from my 1 hour film. But it's a dig that my children, way back when they were itty bitty little, I think she was 9, maybe 10, and then he was 3, maybe 2. I can't remember. Look at them. He's so cute. He's so cute. Okay. And his green chonies. He had to have everything green back then. But this was a cute little dig right there that that they were doing. And I have way more photos. I need to go through and decide, like this one here. He's trying to stand on his head because he thinks he's in a huge sandbox. Isn't that a cute? Okay. Anyways. Enough about my children. I apologize. They were cute when they were little. Doesn't everybody say that? I think everybody says that. So I don't have anything glued down. I've just been playing. I cut all of my Cricut cuts and I backed all of my cut aparts on black cardstock. Kind of wanted that to be there. I've placed everything down the way that I want it to look. Used up all of the bits and pieces. I still have these pieces, like I wasn't sure if I wanted a 4x4, whoops, over in this area here, because I wasn't sure what photos I had just yet. So I had a 4x4, I've got a 4x6 instead of a title card or a journaling card. I've got loads of spots for journaling. I have one here, which I'm going to use this as my date. I have one here and I have one here. I also wasn't sure if, because I brought this pattern, which I'm not sure if you guys can see, but it's this pattern here. I brought it in right here in this little cluster, but I don't know if I need to bring in more of it. So I just have these two pieces. I also wanted to use these. I was thinking about using them as washi right above here, so I take the blue and make it go all the way across the layout instead of over here and over here, because I have blue stars, I have my blue dinosaur sign, I have blue lettering over here with blue stripes, and then a blue dinosaur, and I wasn't sure if I wanted blue faux washi going all the way across, as my pictures are like taped down. I also thought about it right here, but it's the same pattern as this piece here. And it's kind of like scales or chicken wire, however you guys want to see it. So I have it in this blue. I have it in this white with, it's, you guys can't see it very well. I have it like this, and then it's also here in green in this journaling spot. So we will see whether or not I will use this. I kind of want to bring it in. I could also bring it in right here. Oh my god, that looks great. Look at that. I love that. Ta-da! Okay, I love that. Yes. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that piece. I do need to decide. Sorry, I love this, but it's going to be great as a 4x4 as opposed to I need the whole sandbox, right? I do plan on trimming my photo mats because what I did was I also outlined my placement cards. I know I normally don't use my placement cards as the photo mat, but I think on this one I'm going to because I can. So I'm going to go through my photos really quick and decide. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go clear my card. I use this when I do my photos only because I seem to, when I use this, I get a, oh, what's it called, a rub down my photos because of where this slides up and down on my photos. So I really like this one. However, if I'm trying to cut my 6-inch just a little bit, I have to resort back to my other one anyways. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But now that I have all of my bits and pieces in place, I need to start adhering this together. I probably won't do it all on camera because this is pretty much what it's going to look like, except a little bit more straighter and a little bit glued down. I will add this underneath all of that because I really, really like how that looks. And then I've got in 3 different spots some really cool scaly effects. All right, I will get back with you guys. Okay, so here is the final layout. Everything is glued down. Some stuff I couldn't, by the time I moved it out of the way and glued it back in, I couldn't remember where it went, but I'm pretty happy with it. Let me get you some close-ups here real quick. A little dinosaur going on. And then some more close-ups. Okay, now I was going to add, sorry, I forgot where they were. I was going to add some of these white enamel dots to the layout and spread it out throughout. Where's my words? But I think it's busy enough. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't think that it's necessary. I don't think that I need it. I will have to journal. I usually am the worst person on journaling. I'll put a date for sure. I did end up using my old school scissors. Everybody loves old school scissors. To make these look like washi tape. And of course I did it on this one, but you can't tell. And I kind of like it. It does kind of cover up some things that I did not want in the pictures. But I think I like it. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave a link down below so you can go and check out Jenny's original artwork and also all the amazing stuff that she is able to do. If you like what you saw, please select the little thumbs up button. And if you would like to see more, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you again.